Kerry, Margaret, and their 3 children had returned to New Zealand in 1962, anticipating that the power project was soon to be approved. Kerry knew there would be ample civil engineering opportunities on this huge project. September 4th, 1964, the government declared that construction would begin immediately on the Tongariro Power Project. Turangi was turned into a hub of activity as construction crews began building a town to house the rapidly arriving workforce. Kerry got a sought-after engineering position with the Ministry of Works. He had 5 years investigating the project. Now he was going to turn his engineering expertise into building it. Initially, the Ministry of Works put Kerry to work in the hydrology department based in Lower Hutt, but he really wanted fieldwork on the Tongariro project. So, with the first opportunity, he transferred to Turangi.
Immediately before we came back to Turangi, we were at Aratiatia for a few months while they developed a bit of the housing. And I remember Kerry coming home to me and saying, I saw a house going through Earthquake Gully, and it's just had its eaves taken off because it was too wide. And we discovered, to our horror, that was our house. There were lots of bare areas, and there were all these huge machines thundering up and down, flattening things out. And every day you had to go around all the windowsills, and you got, about an inch of pumice dust on everything. There were a lot of houses came in, and every day there was a new set, and you could see the houses sort of appearing. But it was quite exciting.
And that's part of it.
There was more to returning to New Zealand than work opportunity. Kerry and Margaret had grown attached to the community and a special environment around Turangi.
Do you like this? One of the reasons that you wanted to come back and live here full time, you and Margaret?
Yes, I guess so, yeah. It was a lot freer country. We didn't have 47 million charging around in much the same place. We had a slightly less than 2 million, I think. So, we had plenty of space, plenty of fresh air. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah.
With the move to Turangi, Kerry was now back in familiar territory. His new employer, the Ministry of Works, was to take advantage of his experience and knowledge gained from his investigation days with Sir Alexander Gibb. They made Kerry their investigations engineer. He was the perfect fit for the job.
Yep.
It's like a drilling rig.
That's right.
What's the scoop on this?
With the construction about to start on the Whanganui River Dam, one of the proposed concrete structures, it was critical to know what was beneath the surface. Kerry went back to investigation drilling to ensure the structure was viable.
Well, we were drilling, looking for rock. We drilled a series of holes on either side, and we drilled holes down in the bottom to make sure there was enough rock down there to support the toe of the concrete dam, because that's where the pressure comes. Barry Campbell was up there. He decided to put a shaft down beside one of our boreholes, and he put a shaft down about 4 feet away from our borehole. And lo and behold, hello, no rock. Nature played a nasty trick on us. We thought there was a dam site there, and there wasn't. And it wasn't until they started the excavation of the dam site that we found, lo and behold, we haven't got a dam site here. So this is why this structure is here where it is, rather than further downstream. So we still get this water diverted through pipelines and into Lake Otamanakau, and then hence down the Wairahoo Canal to Roto Aira. They then advertised the the positions of resident engineers, and there was about 5 of them advertised all at the same time, and I got resident engineer Malfonger, which was fair enough. See, the other people all came from jobs that they had been on for a while, and they'd been in Ministry of Works for quite a while, whereas at that stage of the game I only had 2 years of experience in Ministry of Works. And I suppose they looked at me a bit sideways and said, well, what does he know? You know, what does he know in the field? So I suppose I had to prove myself a bit.
Kerry was promoted from investigations to Mofanga resident engineer in 1966. Due to the government restrictions on funding, there were delays getting the Mofanga Dam underway. Meanwhile, the government had decided to tender out the construction of the Whanganui, Mofongo, and Tokano tunnels to private contractors. Because of his investigation experience and intimate knowledge of the geology of the area, the Ministry of Works selected Kerry to be the facilitator for this tunnel tendering process. This was a little frustrating for Kerry, as he had a hankering for real engineering work. 3 years later, in 1969, there was to be an about-turn in Kerry's responsibilities when he was promoted to PO2 resident engineer. The PO2 project was multifaceted and was all go. There was the construction of a dam and intake structure, a 5-mile tunnel, a 10-mile canal, several road bridges, and lots of earthworks. There would be real civil engineering work ahead for Kerry, and numerous challenges.
When I got this position of resident engineer PO2, this really gave me plenty of engineering work, exactly what I wanted. It was great to be out in the field and getting your boots dirty and seeing things being built. We were all motivated to get on with it. We could see that the work was getting on fairly well, and morale was high.
Work was already progressing on the dam on the PO2 stream, as well as the dam and intake structure on the Tongariro River. The PO2 dam was to block the stream. Its channel was to be widened and deepened to reverse its flow back into Lake Rota'ara. The Rangipo Dam on the Tongariro River would capture the water from the eastern diversion and direct it through a tunnel to a proposed power station at Rangipo. After passing through the power station, a concrete intake structure would divert the water by way of another tunnel to the PO2 Aqueduct Canal and eventually flow into Lake Rota'ara. Since his early civil engineering days in Scotland, Kerry has always had an affinity for the underground work, tunneling. He had ample opportunity for this kind of work at PO2.
The PO2 tunnel was always my favourite part of this particular job, and it went very well indeed. We had a great team of men. There were men who had been tunnelling most of their lives, I guess. The rock was ignebrite, and we were able to drill it with coal drills rather than the conventional rock hammers. That speeded up the process quite a bit. We mucked it out with what is known as a Conway mucker, which is it's a throw-over mucker, and we had 2 of them, and each of the 2 came from the Manapuri project, which was nearly finished by then. That project gave me a lot of satisfaction.